Yo, we back. You know, I always got to salute my guys when we get here. It's always a blessing to see my guys, you know what I'm saying? We back, man. Obviously, you already know it's your number one podcast out there right now. If I was you, I would listen. You know, I'm Zeem, it's my man, Professor Josh, and I'm my man, S. Dot over there. Let's get right to it. First of all, how you guys doing?
Good, man.
Good.
Hold on, real quick. Good weekend. We celebrated a birthday.
Man.
Turned 41.
Yo, listen, every year is a blessing, man. And honestly, this weekend just made me realize, like, love is real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just being around people that you appreciate, who support you, family, even coworkers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Was all, like, showing love. And, man, I'm old, but I feel good. I feel young. Black don't crack. I drink a lot of water. I don't know if I'm lotioned up today, but that's the keys to success, man. That's the keys to success. And I'm never, ever drinking Casamigos again. What is it called? Raspada?
You sure that was Casamigos?
What is it called? Reposado.
You sure that was Casamigos?
I don't know. That is the devil drink.
Had us drinking rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, it was crazy. How about you guys, man? How's the weekend been?
Chilling, man.
Shit, we was with you.
We was with you on the weekend. How was your weekend? We was with
Yeah, I was a fit. You know, I had to come on a little.
It was clean, man. You did your thing. You definitely did your thing.
I give you an 8.5 out of 10. I seen it. I liked your outfit the best. I think it was 2 or 3 birthdays ago. The Louis Vuitton silk.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
That came up in my memories the other day.
That was the one. That was the one.
That was a good night.
Shout out to that PPE money, man. You know, I took advantage of that. I was supposed to spend it on the kids, man, but I end up, you know, like I said,
they got enough sneakers and toys.
Yeah. Facts. They're well fed. You know what I'm saying? They got a roof over their head. They're good, man. Yo, listen. So, hot topic debate. I'm really excited. Today it dropped. The whole Kevin Durant and Draymond Green.
Can we just say why this is of significance?
Yes.
Our group chat, there has been at least 30 to 40,000 text messages exchanged over the Warriors, Cavs, KD decision, the LeBron versus KD, Draymond, whose fault was it? There's been a lot of blood shed in the group chat about this.
Right.
And we finally got, you know, we get what we were looking for?
We did not. That was absolute trash. Like, and Dot, I know, like, you thought, I was hyped. And you guys was texting in the chat. I'm at work like, yo, I can't wait. Like, I was going to pretend to go take a number 2 just to watch the interview. You know what I mean? Sit on the toilet and watch it. And I'm just like, man, this is a whole bunch of fluff. And I'll let you speak on it, but I got 3 takeaways from it. 3 takeaways.
3.
Let me get my takeaways, and then you can respond to my takeaways. The first one is everything is still centered around LeBron James. KD's statements about everyone's mad that Kyrie left the Cavs. Everyone was upset that we started beating the Cavs. Everyone was upset. Like, so everything. And when he says the Cavs, I'm sorry, he's saying LeBron James,
I agree.
the face of the NBA. That's one. 2, they didn't really confront what was really transpired. And I thought that's what I was going to get out of this one, especially of the snippets of what key words were said that management felt that you had to apologize, Draymond, and why did you take it that way talking about Kevin Durant? I thought they deflected and just tried to put all on the apology and Steve Kerr and like, come on, like, what are we doing here? If 2 grown men is arguing, what do you want Kerr to say? Like, you know what I mean? Do a powwow. And then my third thing is they're still lingering like effects. Like, it was a comfortable conversation, but it was still
uncomfortable conversation.
Those are my 3 things. Okay. They're cordial now, but it's like a broken glass. It got broke once. Yeah, we could put it back together, but it won't be the same. That's my 3 things.
So, I get what you're saying, but I think that you always say, like, when we argue, one thing that I notice that you always say is we always bring up LeBron. But to be honest, like, you want them to lie. That is the reason, was because people don't like Kyrie because he left LeBron.
Right. And left the Celtics.
And he left the Celtics.
Brought that up.
He did bring that up, yeah.
People don't like Kevin Durant's move. I remember when it first happened. Like I was
Yep.
talking to maybe not in our chat, but I was talking to other people that are like LeBron fans, and it's like, yo, it's not enough basketballs over in Golden State.
Yep,
That
yep.
was the thing. Like, how's KD gonna fit? And then when it worked, and they showed like, yo, LeBron has no chance to ever beat this team no matter what he does.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think that angered a lot of people because LeBron is basketball. He is the
Right,
NBA.
right.
And you have a team that he's not even able to win more than one game.
Right.
So even if he is saying the Cavs, like, it's not a matter of he's thinking about LeBron. That's the reality of it. And then you don't think, and I think me and Josh have always said, like, yo, the main reason you could say what he won is it's a crazy move. It wasn't
Snake
like
move,
a manly
sucker,
move.
coward,
But
yeah,
the
those
bulk
words.
of it comes from it was against LeBron, and it stopped LeBron from getting those championships that he was supposed to get.
I'm gonna let Professor speak on.
So I agree with you. I don't think they really said much in the interview. Like when we talked about it, I said that I thought that KD said a lot of really good things aside from the part about the Golden State thing.
Okay.
Like, you know,
okay.
we talked about finding
Yeah, I don't think he
himself.
really clarified it, but it's
Yeah.
good hearing it now.
So
Yeah,
when
yeah.
he talked about finding himself as a basketball player,
Yep.
getting his own rhythm, kind of explaining things like of why he's made decisions basketball wise, going all the way back to high school. You know what I'm saying? Because some people might look at it like, yo, this dude jumped around a lot. But in his situation, he's like, it wasn't because I was a bad student or I'm a bad guy. I kept getting better, so I had to go play better competition. I thought that was really key when he talked about his high school thing.
But,
Yeah,
but then
that-
you say that, but you say that, Josh, and that's a very good point.
Yeah.
But you're a basketball fan.
Yeah.
People don't want to hear that,
Thank
and it's
you.
sad. It's
Thank
sad.
you.
They
Thank
want to.
you.
They want you to. They
Thank
want
you.
to say, "Yo, Draymond, why'd you call him the B word?"
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Nah,
you know
listen,
what I'm
right,
saying?
hold on, wait.
But you say that with like sarcasm,
But that's
but
what
it's,
I'm
it's
not.
the
No,
truth.
I'm not being sarcastic.
Oh,
I'm not
but let
really
me-
it's
with
the
that.
truth.
And that is a really good
Yeah.
takeaway that Josh
Right.
said.
Okay, yeah.
But I
respect
so
it.
and then when it comes to the KD and Draymond thing, I think that it showed who's boss. KD's boss, and I'm gonna tell you why. He said he dealt with all these guys that had a chip on their shoulder, from Westbrook
Yep.
to Kyrie
Harden.
to whoever Harden, and he said you were the only one that was out of control.
Right.
So that's part of the reason why he might have left. Like, yo, this dude is not even really that good, and he's acting this way. And then lastly, I just didn't like the lack of accountability for Draymond. Like, bro, you caused the situation. When you're a veteran and you've been in the league 7-8 years, you know that KD might be thinking about leaving. So instead of you trying to bring him in closer, you and him get into an argument and
Yep.
you drive him further away. And then KD said, all I needed was a moment like how Scottie Pippen came to the locker room
Right, and they all
after he
checked
didn't
him.
go in the game.
Yep.
And but not only did they check him, but Scottie cried and said, yo, I'm sorry. Because that
Right.
was a basketball, like, cardinal sin that Scottie did.
Right.
And the last thing I'm going to say that they did not talk about, and they barely brought this man up, Steph Curry was not in the building that night.
Which night?
The night that Draymond called.
That Clippers night?
Yeah, he was not in the building. He
Yeah,
was
he
hurt,
was hurt.
and he was home rehabbing. If Steph Curry's in the building, I'm willing to bet that
He
it
would've
either
pulled it
doesn't
together?
happen,
Oh, it doesn't happen.
it
Okay.
doesn't happen, or he pulls it together.
Right.
So I think Draymond and his personality of what we see from TV, like he can kind of be like a live wire.
Yep.
And I'm not mad at Draymond for him to go so hard the way he went at Kevin Durant and say the
Right.
things he say, like, yo, we didn't need you anyway.
Right,
You're a
right,
B
right.
word.
Yep.
Like, it was something that was brewing. And he needed to
exactly.
let it out. And then that night, that one thing triggered him and he just went off.
Right.
But I get what you mean about, like, I kind of see both sides. So, like, the way that conversation, they made it seem like the way Bob Myers and Steve Kerr handled it messed everything up. No, you messed it up by saying it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I get it in the sense of Bob Myers and Steve Kerr, they're like, damn, KD's the best, arguably the best player in the NBA.
Right.
We can't let Draymond make him feel a certain type of way and then he leaves, you know?
Right.
Well, with KD, we know we at least got a shot to win the championship every
Right.
year.
But I think Draymond's aspect, like, hey guys, don't forget, like, we won one when he wasn't here.
Yeah.
And that's that's the truth. That's a fact.
But let me ask you a question. So you're a promoter. Let's
Yep.
take it to. I know
Yep.
you hate apples to oranges.
No, it
but
was whatever.
Let's say
for the pod, I'll do it.
let's say like, you know, you got a group of young boys under you, and then
Yep.
like let's say any name, let's say Tony.
Yep.
Let's say Tony, you're having good nights with Tony, like you're selling out, you're making money, the club's always sold out, but then you get Jamal comes, and when Jamal comes, it added to the team, like you got strippers, the best bottle waitresses, it's booming, DJs are hitting you up to come party. People are wanting to ask you about this club. So you did good with Tony, but Jamal brings it to that next level. And Tony says something disrespectful to Jamal. Jamal's like, I'm out of here. What are you, as the overseeing that team, what are you doing?
I'm not suspending Tony. I'll sit down. Like, all right, Tony, I respect the fact that you don't want to talk to Jamal. You see what Jamal is doing. I'm letting you know, like, we have this relationship, we have this history, we had good memories and good moments, but this is not whatever. But I am not going to just suspend Tony.
So let me ask you, let me take it another level.
And take him off Friday nights.
Let's say Tony in front of the whole club, you got a reputation to uphold. In front of the whole club, argues with Jamal, calls him out of his name. Everybody's watching.
Hops on the mic and does it.
Now Jamal feels embarrassed. He feels clowned, and he knows, like, I'm better at my job than Tony. How do you handle that as the boss?
That's a great analogy, and you're putting me under the hot seat. I'm just saying, listen, hold on to the music real quick. Before we stop promoting this Saturday night, we all got to talk, right? What Kevin Durant was searching for. Because at the end of the day, I value Tony. Because at the end of the day, especially in the promoter game, just like the NBA, an injury could happen. You know what I mean? So I got to start with the core, right?
Sure
and then especially I got Tony, knowing that Tony's just Tony. But I got to go DJ in a Ray L on my squad too, a.k.a. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry.
So being that you
does that
say
make sense?
It does. So being that you say that, that means that you would agree with KD and Draymond's premise that it was on current Bob Myers.
Yes, I agree to that. You got me there. I hate when he does this. I hate when he does this.
No. I completely understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I hear the analogy.
I don't think that they handled it properly. Well, I mean, who really knows?
But I'm protecting KD at all costs.
Yeah, but the fact
Draymond's replaceable.
Yeah, see, now that right there is the key point. So now you're used to this other kid, Jamal, got you from living in 2-bedroom to now you in an 8-bedroom.
Right.
So now like the word like a cute story, like all these guys, like no one thought Draymond and Steph and Klay would amount to this. Now you got the dude that's gonna you got Steph, Klay, and KD. You got KD in the building. That's so now you're like, yo, we can really push this to the next level and be living in a 15-bedroom.
Right.
So you don't want to go backwards. And because I understand loyalty, but then it's like, yo, like, where's the accountability? So KD's saying to you, I wanted a come to Jesus moment. I wanted a powwow. I wanted to figure it out.
He says this afterwards, not in the moment. Like, I don't know if that happened in the moment, but we're shaking it.
But even still, I think Bob Myers and Steve Kerr knew that.
Yeah.
And so they're like, yo, you need to apologize, and you laughing in their face.
Yeah. And the way I get it, and just kind of just hearing it is like, and you see it all the time with you see it all the time in like high school programs. You see it all the time in college programs. Like the star players looking sad, and the coach really doesn't really know how to relate to the player for the most part. He may ask someone on the team like, yo, is everything okay with so-and-so? Because he doesn't know how to handle it. So KD, he's saying he's locked in, but to them, he's moping around. He's not talking to anybody. He's like, damn, is he going to leave? Like, what can we do to get this guy to stay? And I don't think that I can fault, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bob Myers and Steve Kerr for doing because at the end of the day, Draymond Green, as good as I think he is, we could go find a Draymond that could do something similar. We can't find KD.
But I just think, all right, back to the analogy or whatever the case may be, we have to be careful because what about the patrons, right? Patrons equaling the NBA fans. What does that look to other players and other owners of clubs and owners of these NBA teams? Like the fact that you are willing to bow down to a player over a statement, yes, inappropriate, but has some truth behind it, and this is why it stung and had some sensitivity to it, where it took it to a whole nother level, especially when the media and we could make it like Instagram got a hold of this.
But that's what I think. That's what KD was kind of alluding to. KD's already on edge. Cause he like made this move, he thinks it's the greatest thing ever, and everyone's just killing him. From the media to like other players, retired players, fans.
Hall of Famers.
So Kevin's like, damn, like he's already like, all right, guys, like I'm taking all the brunt of this.
Yep.
I'm the one on the front line getting crushed. Even when we're winning, I'm winning Finals MVP. I'm going toe to toe with Bron.
No one still cares.
And everyone's still saying Bron's better than me.
Right.
And then Draymond said the one thing, not the B word.
It was we
won before you
we won without you.
And as much as I like the dude Draymond, like I think Draymond's the main reason for majority of those chips
of the success.
I just feel like he has this attitude to him that like. Just the way he was talking today, it was like, really, dude, that's what you're saying? You're basically saying, yo, I'm laughing at my boss's faces and you don't know what you're doing.
Right,
like you can't, like you know what I'm saying? You can't, and I'm not saying that you're supposed to go kiss Bob Myers' ass, kiss Steve Kerr's ass, but don't go belittle dudes. Because what if they went on the podium and said, Draymond, we don't think you're that good, or
you're the reason, or you're the reason what cost us the 2016 championship.
Oh, you're the reason we didn't make the play-in tournament. What if they said stuff like that?
Another thing too, man, that really kind of bothered me is that not only the lack of accountability from Draymond, but also it's like you haven't gotten better. Like Kevin Durant was always talking about like, yo, I'm working to get better. I'm trying to find ways to get better. I'm improving steadily over the course of my career. Draymond, you caused this big rift. You lost arguably the best player in the league, and you haven't done anything to make yourself better.
All right, so if you guys are Steph Curry, you're watching that, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
Me personally, I'm a huge Steph Curry fan. I don't just from what I get from his demeanor, I think he stays out of it until like he says, yo, that's just Draymond doing his thing until it starts to affect the team.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they did say in the offseason that, like, you know, a conversation had to be had. Like, yo, Draymond, we need more from you offensively this season. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, recently?
Yeah, recently. That was you know, when you get an exit interview, it was like, end of season interview, like, yo, we need to focus more on your offense.
I respect that.
I think he stays out, but I don't know. I'm starting to think, like, yo, and I'm a big Draymond fan. You guys know that.
Right.
I'm starting to think that once he got that $100 million and signed the clutch, he's getting to getting to
like I said, I see him setting up his post career right now.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be great on TV.
Which I love to see. Barkley, I see him having
and he's super educated too. So,
right.
Can I ask this question? So, you're Steph Curry, you see that, and you're like, all right, that's just Draymond being Draymond to to the public, but inside. You're like, come on, dude.
Yeah, no,
you're like, come on, bro.
Right.
Another thing,
crazy. It looked crazy.
Another thing is too, like, we always talk about how the media can try to manipulate the fans to go against a player.
Right.
When we talk about like a Melo or Kyrie or whoever at the moment, but I think that the players are starting to get smarter in manipulating the fans to go against media and or like the front office. So like most NBA fans don't know who Bob Myers is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These young fans don't know that Steve Kerr is a 5-time champion and was a very good player in his own right. So it's not like Draymond saying like, it's not like he's talking about a dude that never played before. Like in the Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
Like this is a dude that been in the trenches, hit big shots in the NBA Finals.
Got knocked out himself by Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In a heated argument.
So he knows, and he went to pop school. He went to Phil Jackson school, so he knows all about this kind of stuff. So Draymond's trying to place the emphasis on Kerr, and it's just not becoming of Draymond.
It's not the first. It's not the first fight we had to deal with.
In that dialogue there, yes, KD was the big dog to Draymond, especially was like, no, you was the toughest, whatever the case may be. But that interview let me know that Draymond, regardless, has a lot of control.
I don't think he has a lot of control. I just think he has a personality that he's never going to allow you to feel that I'm underneath anybody.
Well, yeah, but in that clip you said with Bob Myers, to have a relationship like that with the basketball president of operations.
Bob Myers is Bob Myers is a former agent who had a lot of, like, he knows how to build those relationships because he comes from the agency world. But I guarantee you this, if Steph Curry went to Bob Myers' office tomorrow and said, yo, we need to do something about
Draymond.
Draymond.
He's gone.
He's gone.
And the dude do make $100 million as
Yeah.
$100 million contract. So I mean, he has to technically have some say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys. I've just been like thinking about this lately, and it's just been on my mind, and especially with a lot of things that's just been going on. When you hear the word social media, or what do you think social media is for? Like, what comes to mind? Like,
I think it's a place to just interact with people who you wouldn't on a normal basis.
On a normal basis.
Like,
Okay.
obviously, like, you know, people in your area for the most part, like, we go out to a party, we see a lot of people that we know. But, like, so for instance, I just made a bet with this dude I went to college with about the Jets and Patriots.
Right.
I would never interact, like, me and him barely ever spoke in college. But, like, over social media, we've, like, developed a little bit of, like, a friendship over sports.
Right.
And we just go back and forth. Or the Patriots suck, or the Jets suck. All your draft picks suck. So, like, that's just, like, what I kind of see it as, if used correctly.
Right. Now, what do you think? Like, what do you think of social media? Like, what is it for? Like,
It's a mix of things. It's what Josh said. It's like promotional use. It's some people's diary.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it's a bittersweet thing. It's like good, it's evil, it's bad. It could be a whole bunch of things.
because I was driving, and I'm just like, damn, like, and I had a moment because I was just like, I really love this song, and then I was gonna do my car, karaoke that I usually do. You know what I'm saying? Because I use social media as, like Josh says, for people who I don't see a lot, or interact with a lot, and especially I got a million things going on, to have that connection and use dialogue on things that's going on in my life and in their life. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, I'm scrolling, I see, Lizzo crying. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm just like, when I really think about it, and then even us in our group chat, we are really some judgmental motherfuckers. We criticize. Well, no, I'll say me personally. You know what I'm saying? I'll speak for myself, but I'm just saying overall, social media has been used now and has been weaponized.
Yeah, for sure.
And like in the comment section, like I'm looking at Lizzo like, you're a multi-millionaire. You have the #1 song in the country, like the most sales, whatever. I seen Cardi B flexing on that. And you're crying, worried about what other people think.
But what I say to that is, and like, yeah, she has all the money in the world.
Yeah,
like, you know, she's the most famous person. You still a human at the end of the day. And I think I always say that about like majority of topics. Like when you go and you read millions of people saying stuff about you, it's very hard to turn it off. You know what I'm saying? And especially when it comes to something about like, as like, as sensitive as a woman's weight. Like think about millions of people just calling you fat, calling you this, calling you that. Like eventually that's gonna bother you, and you're gonna say, like, damn, is this true? Do I really? And now that you know you're on the camera and people are looking at you, like, think about girls or even some dudes. Filter pics, change pics up. So now you got millions of people watching you like, damn, like, should I dress this way? Or are they going to judge me if I post this pic? Is it going to end up on this blog in a negative way? So that stuff could really, like, mess with you.
Yeah, because it like I said, it's just been weighing on my, and it just made me start reflecting, like, how I want to use social media moving forward. Sometimes I'd be like, damn, do I be doing too much? Do people think like I post too much or party too much?
But you wanna know what though, man? Like, there's always like,
keep it real with me. I need an intervention here.
Like me and you, like like I like joking around with you, be like, I can't you blow smoke into a camera phone. I'm joking with you, but I'm not judging you. Like Dot's famous line about me: all Josh want to do is laugh all day.
Yeah,
that's literally like social, like 90% of the clips I send you guys from social media is funny stuff. And I'm like, but to Dot's point, like Lizzo's situation is so interesting because her Instagram name is Lizzo Be Eating. And she plays into like the fact that she's a big woman, because Lizzo is not a ugly.
Been eating. Yeah. I didn't even think of that.
I just got that. You know what else I just realized too? Ari's name. I didn't know that was her brother. I thought it was Ari the real Keister. Yeah. But it's Ari.
Kyle's sister.
Kyle's sister. Yeah. Oh. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, because her brother passed away, and that's what she named her.
Okay.
So like. The thing about it is, and let's give like a lot of these rappers or singers or basketball players, I always say it, these are young people, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in my mid-30s, you're in your mid-30s, Doc just turned 30. So we have like more, like once you get more comfortable with yourself and more comfortable in who you are, it don't bother you as much. But a person like Lizzo, she has to be on social media. Yeah. She has to be on Instagram. She has to be on Twitter. So it's like hard for her. So in one hand, she tries to own it and play into it.
Right.
Lizzo be eating. I'm a big girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm still like sexual. I'm still showing my body. I'm still twerking. I don't care.
Right.
But she's still like, and like, damn, like I feel weird, like three guys talking about a woman.
Yeah, no. Like I said, that's why I wanted to kind of turn it to my way or whatever. Because listen, and I hate to say it this way because I know it's very important, but it seems like mental health is, I don't want to say the new wave because I feel like that is just demeaning it, but it's the front sheet topic right now, right? And like I said, I just seen Lil Wayne with my man Emmanuel Acho on Uncomfortable Conversation talking about mental
really
health.
good.
That really was good. Then I see Iggy Azalea talking about, hey, music companies should get musicians, psychiatrists, you know what I mean, to help them through these filtering things. And I know we spoke about that in development, like with the locks and the whole art of development. You know, I just see, the Simone Biles, the Naomi Osaka, and then I'm just thinking, a lot of it, when they discuss it, is the criticism of social media. So when is it on the individual to turn off social media? So I know it's one way, it's a promotional tool like Dot mentioned, but then again, if it's messing with you mentally, is it upon the individual to try to filter that?
I think like the Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka, that's kind of tough because, and I was reading something that kind of made sense, like if LeBron goes out and he has a bad game, there's 81 more that he gonna play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Simone Biles, she's by herself. There ain't four other people with her that she can shift the blame to. Naomi Osaka, the Williams sisters in tennis. You know what I'm saying? Tiger Woods, you name it. Like, they're out there, and I think you said that the other day. You're out there by yourself. Like you were talking about baseball. It's a mental game. You can't blame nobody. If you mess up, it was your fault.
It's on you,
and that's pressure. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, if in basketball, if you miss a shot, you can say, "Oh, I got the pass late," or "This dude didn't finish a pass," or "This dude did something wrong on defense." Where these sports, it's tough, and then you go and you read, how awful you are, and then if you want to take a next step like a Naomi Osaka, and you want to dive into the political justices of the world, then you got people commenting on that, and like Josh just earlier said, these are young people. That's a lot to take in at their age, and still perform at the top level, highest level of your game.
It's still new too, so you got to understand too, the world's moving so fast. Like, social media is still relatively new, even though it feels like it's been here for a while. Right. So a lot of these a lot of teams, companies, maybe the U.S. Olympic Committee, Naomi Osaka's team, you have to figure out and study how to protect your athlete from maybe themselves or maybe from social media, or how to cope with social media. Skip Bayless, who we all laugh and joke, he's funny, he's old, who cares what he says? But the things that he said about Dak Prescott, talking about, my brother committed suicide. He was going through, if my brother committed suicide, God forbid, I'd be distraught for years behind that.
Exactly.
So Dak, just because he's a superstar
player. I do remember that. Get out there, play. You know what I mean?
So, but we don't get, especially as black people, we don't get that grace. We don't get that grace of oh, they're having a tough day. Right. Something happened with something happened with their family. Right. We'll never get that grace.
And then that's and I think that was my biggest premise of just reflecting, me being conscious of what I'm posting, who I'm following, what I'm intaking. Even real quick, it was weird because it all started when you asked the question yo, Zeem, about the comments and the pinning and some people taking off likes. I'm just I really want to write back some of them are just sick and tired of it. You know what I mean? Don't want the whatever. And then the ones that are pinning are hey, let me put this negative comment up there. Let's roast and have this chain of roasting thing. And it's just yo, what is the world coming to right now? And these guys are millionaires. You know what I mean? So just imagine on a lower level what that looks like. And obviously, I'm basing it on all
can
my
I give you a personal
cell
example?
phone policies. Yep.
So, my cousin Sean has that big Instagram, the Industry on Blast.
Yeah, yep.
So, maybe a couple years ago, he's like, yo, can you send me some sports stuff? Because Bron had just went to the Lakers.
Okay, yep.
So I sent him a few videos, and one of the videos had 25 comments on it. And some of the people was laughing, saying it was funny. And some of the people were like, who's this bald head idiot? Who's this dude? And maybe it's just my personality, or maybe it wasn't enough. But I look at the negative comments. One, I was like, oh, at least someone's paying attention.
Right.
Two, I'm like, some of it's funny, so I'm gonna just laugh.
Right.
So, but then again, I'm an older person.
Right. But did you have? Was you at any point like, damn, I wish I had hair?
Nah. I'm like, it's funny, I think where it can cross the line when people are saying things about your family, about your kids,
right?
Things like that.
Because I hate the topic, we could always say, oh, they're just broke and they live in their mama's basement and blah blah blah. But some of these are just not the egg shaped, fake avatars. You know what I mean? There's real people out there that. And I get it, and like I said, I don't ever want to see a female cry. Then I'm at the same time why would you post that? You know what I mean? Why would you post yourself crying? Because when people do that, what are they trying to gain even doing
branding.
that?
Yeah, that too, and that's something I don't know. I don't want to say oh, you're faking, but I'm just saying that I think it was a time. Was John Legend's wife?
Chrissy Teigen.
Yeah, she had posted herself in the hospital when her son just died.
Miscarriage.
I learned, and something that I try to be conscious of, moving forward, I think we all do it, is I'm not them, so I can't tell nobody
how to grieve
or what you was going through. It may look foolish to me, but that might have been the best way for you to let it out. You know what I'm saying?
Or communicate to all these people that's going to ask you those questions.
And I've known girls before, and I've dealt with women before that have straight up told me they go to social media and they may post certain things on social media because that's their that's their closure or that's how they feel connected to the world. They feel like they don't got no friends, but if they go on Instagram, they're gonna get 600 likes. People's gonna go comment under their post, hard eyes. People that you may not even talk to on a regular basis, but you're feeling the love from the picture. So you go there, and in person, you might be super awkward. You might, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I used to say that about Twitter too. Like the reason why I got off Twitter, and I don't know why I internalized it so much, but I used to know people in real life that was quiet like a church mouse, but on Twitter they talk heavy.
Got the jokes.
They got all the bitches and all the money. Topic of the day. I'm like, I couldn't.
I think I remember this time.
Do you remember that? I couldn't.
It still happens. It still happens.
Bro,
it's weird to me.
Man, not everyone has been accepted in their social circle.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You're going deep, and I like that. We could dive into that.
We could use you for an example, right? So you were the cool guy when you was playing Pop Warner. You was the cool guy when you was at the rec center, West End Rec. You was in the popular crowd when you was at St. Ray's, when you was at Hope, when you was in college, and now post-college. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, but there are some people whose personalities are way different on social media than they are in person.
Right.
Because they never felt comfortable. They got bullied. They got pushed around. You know what I'm saying? They were scared to come outside. There are some people like that. And now that everyone's an adult and able to do what they want to do, now they on Twitter trying to bully back.
No, that's
releasing their
we know
prior frustration. Oh my God, I know so much.
It's spilled over.
It's a lot of people that act like that. But at the end of the day, man, if you got it, you got it. It used to be a dumb saying, yo, he wasn't even a man in high school.
Right.
Well, shit, you're not supposed to be the same person you was in high school.
That's a fact.
And that's what I love about this chat is that we're all the same way. Doc's a reserved person in person. He's reserved on social media.
Right.
I like to laugh, joke, talk shit.
Right.
I'm the same way on social media.
Yeah.
You like to blow hookah smoke on social media.
Yeah. Say outlandish shit in person.
You do it.
Yeah. Nah, I hear you. And I was just thinking because I think the best thing I heard was, so it is like a diary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it is almost like a showcase to the world. And I always say, and like I said, I'm just thinking this through because I have a new student orientation and we have these new cell phone policies and factors, and I am going into the adolescent mind in regards to social media. So this is why, I got to chop it up with my professors and my dots, like in regards to the messaging I'm going to say to these kids and what you put out there. You know what I'm trying to say?
And you know what I learned? And I like social media, so I'm not trying to come off like I'm this old guy that didn't know nothing about social media.
Absolutely.
But I didn't know the tricks.
Right.
So, like, when people say, ask me a question.
I remember this when I brought it up.
Like, people say, ask me a question.
Okay.
People will type the question to themselves and then post the answer as if somebody wrote that to them.
Wow.
So that happens. That's one.
Yeah.
What else did I learn?
Like for a like.
Like for well, that's like the stuff that people is doing so people could see. I'm talking about the stuff people can't see. So when people will make a post and say, since I've been getting so many hit ups about this, and they make like a tutorial video, that's mostly fake. Like I was like, wow, like you know what I'm saying? This stuff is
it's all about marketing and how I see it.
And then I see a few people I know, because you know that feature on like IG where like you click on certain pages, you can see who comments.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I see some people that I know. I'm like on Shade Room every day having full blown conversations, arguments.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
damn.
crazy.
So that's some people's like yo, when I get out of work, I'm gonna go start put a comment on the Shade Room post, and the rest of my night's gonna be arguing with people.
Right.
So,
And it's addictive behavior. It is addictive behavior, because I can't lie. I just so I wake up in the morning and I don't hit snooze mad times, I make sure I charge my phone across the room. So as soon as I get over there, I turn it off. First thing I do, go to Instagram. Just making sure that I didn't get tagged nothing crazy, or post something crazy.
It's so crazy because like
we're
even
conditioned.
Me, like I'll do a post, like ask a question like what's a good Netflix movie, or like damn, I'm look crazy if nobody hit me up. I can't post nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you ask a question, you only get 2 hit ups. So that goes through your mind. Like it's natural.
Yo, for our podcast page. During the finals, when I would post like a poll, like who's gonna win Game 5, and it is in the back of your mind like, damn, I hope we get at least 50, 60 people.
Yeah, so it's real. I know one of the bad habits that I've been doing now, and it is sick. I'll admit it's a sick ritual I do. I'll post something, and every 30, like I'm talking about my IG story, every 30 minutes I want to see how many views I got. And I see who's viewing it. And then I'm like, easy. I got 668 views in less than 24 hours. Like, this is sick things as a grown-ass man I'm thinking about, like, and who's seen it first? Who's seen it last? Who commented? And it's so weird.
But it's the new norm.
It's a new norm.
It's funny because whenever I post something with my girl, sticker taps are out of control.
Right.
Post something normal.
Yeah.
The views be
exactly.
We posting with the podcast, we got 126 views.
Yeah.
Post something else, 522. Like,
Right.
Come on, man.
You think it's algorithm?
I'm
firm believe in the algorithm.
It's definitely an algorithm because they want you to like spend money to promote it. Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, because the difference shouldn't go be that different.
Right. Yeah, I get it across the board. I just know that I got a bad habit of like
checking who's seen it,
who's seen it. And when I always hit 600 plus views in 24 hours,
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. I
can let it
die. I had a good day.
You a bad bitch, huh?
That's how I be acting. But I think Doc make a good point. I'm just conditioned now to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, only ones that
that's why to be honest, that's why they put it there. They put it there for you to check who's looking. They know people care about numbers, and you know what I'm saying.
One of what I noticed, speaking of algorithms, so what they do is on TikTok. So I started TikTok for the podcast. Like I'll post something, and then like I'll go hours or maybe even a day without looking at it. I'll post 3 videos, boom, 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 and then we'll look at it. But they'll keep sending me like alert that we got a like to try to keep me coming back
Back
and spending
to it.
more time
On
inside
that
the app.
Yeah. You gotta turn off those
It
notifications.
be the same likes. It be the same like
Yeah. That makes sense. I didn't even think about it like that, but that does make sense.
It's a
That's
business
why,
model.
Well, for other reasons, I made sure my Snapchat notification, my Instagram.
This guy is crazy.
Nah.
No, I'm saying I turn it off because when I'm at work, I don't want it to.
Yo,
DJ, they didn't catch it. They didn't catch it.
I caught it. I was just not involved.
can we edit that out?
All right, so speaking of that, another thing that I noticed is in a public setting, in a public forum, or maybe, like I said, I think the last time I seen it, and this is why I always want to give, the crib, some love. Because
Shout out to Jay and Sabrina.
Yeah,
Sabrina and Jay.
I finally in a long time see interaction. You know what I'm trying to say? Where I feel like now in public settings, the clubs, the lounge, the hookah bars, the whatever the case may be, the people don't know how to interact anymore, have these conversations anymore, or even holler at a girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or holler at a man, or like what's the pickup line? Like now I feel like to talk to a girl, let me get your Snapchat, let me get your Instagram.
Yeah,
and your Instagram better be on point because they are following up with the, I'll holler at you now, I'll talk to you now, depending on what your Instagram looks like. Am I tripping?
No, that's valid. It is like from what I've heard, like it's been like, instead of your number, what's your Snap? What's your IG? We make jokes about some of our friends that like, you don't say nothing to them.
Shooting off 40.
But then you don't say nothing to them. Don't look their way. Don't talk to them. But then you following them the next day talking about, hey, was that you last night? Like, stuff like that, man. It's just crazy. It's just,
Was that you in the pink? Was that you in the pink?
Yo, that's hilarious. I think he was with that girl, right, with the white dress.
Yeah. But I think it goes by where you live. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like when I went to Houston, it's different. Like I feel like people are interacting. Like they obviously do care about like social media still.
Right.
But there's like more like, friendlier conversation.
Right.
People are willing to have conversation where I feel like here or like, on this side of the country, it's like in most urban spots, unless you know the person, I think a female would kind of feel kind of weird if you just came up and tried to make a conversation.
Right.
It's a tricky game now.
Like spitting game is lost.
So I'll say this: I've been the most recently single out of us.
Wow. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
So I'll say this: the only way I really use Instagram I would use Instagram as a tool to like try to, if I just don't have no access point to you. If I know like I'm never gonna see this person out,
okay,
you know what I'm saying? Then I'll be all right. Let me try to set the DM up. You know what I'm saying? But you still do spit game. You still do spit game
in the DM version.
No.
Oh, okay.
In person.
Oh, let me hear this.
In person.
I think our age group.
Yeah, cause like I'm the type of person like I don't want to be group chat fodder.
Okay.
You're not gonna have me in some You're not gonna have
that's
me.
why they be asking for the snap now,
Exactly.
so you can.
Right.
You're not gonna
Paper
be
trails
having me in no group chats with your homegirls and stuff like that. So like I just and I think that there's a certain sweet spot.
Okay.
That you
break
get
down
to.
this science for me.
The sweet spot is like you have to be confident and like mildly aggressive when trying to holler at a woman, but not too aggressive and not badgering. Like,
damn, that's a lot. All right, so break that down. You can't be too aggressive.
Yep.
You have to have confidence.
Yep.
But you can't. You have to be aggressive, but not too.
Yeah, because like you don't want to look like you're badgering or you're all in her face or all in her body. Like,
But go ahead.
But you have to let her know, like, yo, I'm confident, like, cause like, yo, a lot of girls, no matter how good or whether they look good, bad, whatever, in between, a lot of dudes are probably not even having the balls to even holler at them in 2021.
And that's funny you say that.
That's what I'm.
But my young boys tell me it's called a 3 like special.
Oh, okay.
You like 3, she give 3 back. That means that's the okay to get a DM.
Wow, I
Just
can't
call it
front.
3 like special.
3 like special.
What they
That's
say,
what
that's
it
the
is.
new way.
That's so I like 3. If you get 3 back,
If you get, they said if you get 3 back,
yeah,
she's all the way interested.
yeah, all the way interested.
If she give 2, like, all right, yeah, she likes it too.
Yeah.
You could shoot your shot.
Right,
and
right.
if she gives 1, but if the 1 is your last pick, she's just being nice. But if it's if it's 1 pick, she don't want to seem too over aggressive.
Yep.
But if she hits 1 and it's like far back, then go for it. That's
like
what I
that.
heard. That's what I heard.
Shout out to the young boys out there, because that's
They're
official.
moving around.
They're moving around. Because, yeah, sometimes I'd be like, actually, yeah, a friend of mine was telling me, yo, Josh is looking at me crazy. Yeah, we got to
He's so sick. He's so sick, man.
Yo, no matter how much you try to save him from himself,
He can't, man.
DJ, you gotta timestamp some of this stuff, all right?
Nah, but another thing is, I noticed, like, asking for a girl's phone number in person is like a no-no. That's a thing of the past now. How do you guys feel about that? I feel like that's where you're too aggressive. Like the new age is what's your
I'll give you the
Snapchat? What's your
I'll give
IG?
you the perfect example, right? So when I was single, there was a girl like maybe like I was probably like 33. She might have been like 20, 26, 27.
Yep.
She gave me her Instagram and
Yep.
we built off that. But then there was a chick that was closer to my age,
Okay.
and she just gave me her phone number.
All right, so you think it's age?
Yeah,
age
I think
preference.
it- I think it's definitely
okay. It
age.
makes sense.
Definitely age.
That makes sense because I'm just like, woof. All right, so now you hop in the Snapchat DM or the Instagram DM.
Dangerous waters, choppy waters.
Yeah, choppy waters because we're nervous about the screenshots, correct?
Yup.
Or being in a group chat, whatever the case may be. So now I heard there's different emojis that do the bird calling for you.
I heard the eyes is the emoji.
eyes is the new
eyes,
emoji.
That's what I heard.
Really?
The new, like cuckoo.
I just heard that girls don't want the WYD. What are you doing?
What are you
over
doing?
and over and over and over and over and
Yeah,
over.
well, you
Yeah.
get, once they start talking, they don't want the conversation to just be, oh, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you
Right.
up to? Like,
Right,
da-da-da.
right.
But the eyes is like the,
Hey,
Yeah,
what's
What's
up?
up?
What's up?
What's up?
So what about if it's the hard eyes? Are we sexualizing it then? Is it too deep?
that's why I'm saying now it's a tricky game because
Right,
you're throwing them
right.
hard. Like, you don't want to. I feel like if you are on that time,
Yep.
you don't want to. You got to go into it with the mindset like, damn, like is she gonna think I'm only here for one thing,
Right,
Or
right.
is she gonna believe that I'm really into this chick and trying to
Right.
get to know her? And you really may be trying to. If you are
Yeah.
trying to get to know her, then
Yeah.
I don't think I would necessarily be that direct and
Right,
lead
right,
with
right,
like
right.
the hard eyes.
Now I feel and ladies, the reason why I'm bringing this up is you gotta give these dudes out here a chance to talk and interact with you, because what I gathered, there is a fear of what you're saying. I feel like you can't get to know somebody through a DM, right? We have to converge over to text and potentially a face-to-face sit down or having those conversations, and that's not happening no more. That's what I'm trying to allude to overall. Does that make sense? Like what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say?
'Cause I think the setup now with like the tables and the hookah,
Yeah.
and like it's not enough, like it's no angle to, like, let's say
Right.
usually if you're at a table and you're a girl, you're there with your, like, 5
Yeah.
other girls, and you gotta be like,
You have
gotta
that
be
big
bold.
cojones.
to
Yeah,
walk
yeah,
over there
yeah.
and pull that one chick away successfully,
Right.
without not knowing her previously,
Right.
and pull her away and to kind of shoot your shot.
Is that what you hit him with? I'm interested in you. Let me buy you a drink type thing, and maybe she'll follow you to the bar.
Or maybe you send some shots over.
Yeah, you send
take
the
care of
guys
all
some
the
shots at the
friends.
table.
They make the eye, depending on the eye contact,
Yeah.
it could either be a, oh, thank you, or it could be like that look, and
Yeah,
you in
yeah,
there now.
yeah.
Let me go talk a
Yeah.
little more.
Yeah,
You know,
but you want to know what it is though, man? Like, remember how we talk about analytics in basketball,
Yeah.
right? And so now everything is either a 3, a free throw, or a layup with
Right.
these young people.
Right.
When you got like the OGs, we got a mid range.
Yeah.
And so like that's where you can rope them in with what you're talking about with conversation.
Right.
If like it's harder for the younger people because this their status quo.
Right,
It's
right.
all
That's
about
all they know.
DM,
Yeah,
social media, the eyes, blah, blah, blah. But with us, we're older, like, you could rope a girl in who might be out of your league with some conversation.
I think a lot of people get away from being yourself. Like, I think, just to go back to our earlier conversation with social media, like, you know, dudes want to throw the stack of money. Dudes want to show the jewelry. Dudes want to show all the drip off. So you think that's, and you may go see yourself getting 600 views on that. You think, yo, that's it. That's what's making me win. You know what I'm saying? So you set the standard that, like, you know, I'm going to get this chick based off of what I'm wearing, or I'm able to maybe send her a bottle or something, or flash my diamonds. You may catch a few fish like that. But I feel like the people that are themselves, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're put together. You're not wearing, you're not a bum, but you're not really all the way into that stuff. You go be yourself, and, like, you know, you treat her like a lady. You send a shot, get a drink, you build a little conversation, you show her who you are. I feel like in the long run, that's gonna help your chances more. Whereas all that flashy stuff, you may get lucky, but you're gonna find that headache too. I feel.
Or that's what she was in.
That's what she always wants.
Well, that's what she wants, right? If you can't provide that, and that's why, you know, in the beginning of this, I shouted out the crib. You know what I'm saying? Because that setup is a conversational setup. There's no hiding from it. Yellow Cup, there's no hiding from it. Day Trip, there's no hiding from it. But, you know, a lot of these establishments nowadays are set up where it's isolated pockets. And if you putting yourself out there, just know every VIP is looking at it. And then this is where you get the frightening of to even approach the shutdown.
But I think that's kind of like a Rhode Island thing. I feel like when I was partying in the city, like, you see a chick, you might not ever see her again. Whether it's on a train, at a store, on the street, at a party.
Oh, I thought you said run a train.
No. You see what I mean?
That's what I thought he said. I'm like, wait, what?
Hey, yo, Mike, this is why I roll my eyes at times. So I'm saying, so you just going for it.
Right.
Because.
But all due respect, when you saying you party in the city, this is a decade and some change ago.
But I'm saying, even.
We're in different times.
And not for nothing, Rhode Island's party life as far as, like, the setup with the hookahs and everything, that's a
New York thing.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is, like, I could get shut down so I'm from Harlem. I could go to a club in Brooklyn and get 3 chicks like just shut me down. But 2 say yes.
Real quick.
They're never gonna and like, no one will ever know.
Real quick. That's true too. Yeah. Real quick. All right. Remember those URI parties?
I didn't go to URI, but I went to a few parties.
Yeah, I went to those parties. I'm just bringing up that type of setup.
Especially that Halloween party.
Listen, exactly. Listen, Doc. Legendary. Yo, shout out URI, man. I didn't graduate from
union
there.
parties.
The union parties is amazing. But what did boys do when you got shut down? Like, so you remember back in the day, we used to just try to creep up on a chick, try to hold her head.
Do a little spin and But it's so hard to do that now because everybody's at tables. So you can't just be going table to table.
It was easier back in the day, right?
After my first, because everybody's in a clutter.
You can filter out.
And you younger, like, we were, like, in them parties were like late teens, early 20s. That was a long time ago. You get shut down, like, I feel like in middle school and high school, like, the Knights of Columbus party. Listen. The Knights of Columbus parties, it gets you ready. It builds it builds you, you know.
Shout out Barry's all ages too.
But no,
bootleggers.
I get what you're saying, but I feel like that was like a then thing. Like, it's tough to
now.
You gotta go, like, not even to be funny, but like you say you go to somewhere and you say you don't know nobody and you going to 5 different tables trying to bag something.
That's crazy now. Well, tables, but there's,
because that's still the model. Because I always
think in Rhode Island. Hold on, let me cut you off. In Rhode Island, the best thing to do is to, like, ask the friend. So, like, let's say I think that a chick is looking good, right? Yep. So I'm gonna, like, and chances are, you know, a friend who knows somebody, like, yo, what's up with so and so? And sometimes they be like, yo, pull up. Sometimes they be like, tonight's not the night.
Are you trusting that friend to give you the proper information about that?
Yeah, it could work.
It could work. Okay,
it depends. Like, nothing's ever gonna be 100%.
Right.
Now it's such a crazy game too, because if you out of state, and that is a really good point about Rhode Island. Just ask a friend, but the thing about out of state, you can't be in Gen Pop.
Nah.
You gotta have a if it's not a festival,
right,
that's not the
that's
theme
a fact.
where
That's a
everybody's
fact.
and you don't got no section. You're done. Don't even
talk. Yeah,
what's
don't
the-
even
what's
looking
the
at you
point?
like, you here with me.
Like,
Yeah,
when
Rhode
you
Island, Gen
you came
Pop,
to New
you can
York
get
just
popping
to,
in
you
Gen
know what I'm
Pop.
saying? You came
Yeah,
to New
yeah,
York,
yeah.
you came to Atlanta just to stand in the middle of the floor.
Yeah.
Nah,
You're looking wild. Nah, it's a real thing because I was just like, you know what I mean? One of my young boys hit me like, yo, you know, and he's a high school student. Yo, Mr. A, what's up? This. What should I do? X, Y, and Z. And the line of questions that he was asking me, I'm like, yo, back in my day, but you bring up a great point. We're not back in my day.
It ain't back in the day.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
man.
it's different now. So I'm having to switch my frame of mind of like, damn,
Yo, man.
what's she saying to DMs?
And that's the thing about Yellow Cup.
Hey, yo.
Everybody was the thing that is funny that it comes full circle.
Yeah.
Like people were saying that Yellow Cup, like yo, it was 4,000 people there, but it was really nothing to do because there's 4,000 people there and there's no hookah. You're standing there, you don't know how to just let me go build a conversation
Great point.
to the crew
Great
next
point.
to me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
great point.
That's
Great
why
point.
some people. Meanwhile, the people in the
Hey,
center
yo.
stage that were dancing,
Yep.
Hey, yo.
getting down, they
Listen,
have fun.
man.
What's up?
Listen, man.
What's up?
Shoot is shoot, man.
Nah, you're right.
You gotta
You're
listen,
right.
Shoot
is shoot.
Like, yo, you just can't avoid like a lot of it when you're younger. A lot of it you're trying to avoid rejection. It don't matter who you are.
Right.
You're gonna get rejected at some point.
Right.
You-
No,
it-
that's a fact. Yeah.
Yo, so I used to tell guys when I was working at the Crusade
Yeah.
as an advisor, I'm like, yo, like just start a conversation and
Right.
see where it goes.
Right.
Shoot is shoot, bro.
Yeah.
You don't want to be sitting up in your room on Saturday night thinking like, damn, I should have asked so and so to hang out. I should have
Right,
seen what
right,
so and so
right,
was
right.
doing.
Yeah, but it's hilarious because I'm just thinking in my head, Rhode Island is definitely famous for "Put Me On." You know what I mean? Like that's the line.
Because
Put
you
me
know
on.
somebody that knows somebody.
Yeah. Put me on. Especially in a small state, you can actually get some thorough background
Yeah.
information.
One thing I'll say is
car facts and everything, whole facts and everything. You know what I mean?
sometimes where you said, but can you trust the information? There is some backbiting and some hating in Rhode Island.
Yeah, because
Facts.
the girl,
Oh, yeah,
dudes are
yeah.
gonna say every girl's a
Right,
girls are
right,
gonna say,
right.
oh, he's a play. He does
And a
this
lot of
and
LOD. We already know what LOD is. That's the worst. Like that's why I just be like, man,
Dirty macking.
dirty macking, pillow talking. You know what I mean? Relationship shaming. Like, mind your business, man. Don't worry. Actually, let me get off that anyway. Cut that out.
Mike, now you see why I roll my eyes from time to time.
So yeah, another thing that I noticed has just been, like I said, I just been reflecting. I don't know if it's this point in my life, you know, I'm
Midlife crisis.
midlife crisis. Like I'm just reflecting on all my things and all my success and progress, which has been a great thing. But then it's just like, damn, I gotta. Actually, you know what? I still see Diddy going hard, so I don't got Diddy money, but whatever. Anyway, so I'm on social media once again, and I guess I'm at this page, but I just wanted to ask you guys and just ask the audience as well in regards to when two individuals have a kid together and they break up, why do they force that other individual to be a non-parent or AKA the deadbeat? And I think obviously just to give some substance, right? Maybe people have been seeing like this whole Safari and Erica Mena situation. I know is big on Love and Hip Hop right now, but now Safari's getting painted out to be almost like a deadbeat father or absentee father. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what's the correct word. Because obviously I feel like deadbeat, you don't really care for your child.
Yeah.
Absentee is you care, but you're just not physically there. I don't know if it's a correct term for it. But why is that a thing? Why? Because me and you broke up. The first notion is I'm taking you away from having that relationship with the kid because me and you are not working out. And it's been happening in the black community for years, right? And I'm speaking it as a person who never seen my father before, never had a relationship with my father before. In my late 20s, I found out the reasoning behind it. And a lot of it had to do with my mom just being a bitch and, you know, doing everything in her power to excommunicate that communication, right? And I'll put it on my dad for not going above and beyond as well to try to repair that relationship with myself. But I just know, and especially working in the school community, that happens a lot. and I know I'm going real deep in this topic, but like, why is that a thing that, the kids have to suffer because of adults not getting along?
I think it's like, first off, parenting is like one of the hardest things to do.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And you don't really realize that until like you placed with that responsibility. But to kind of answer your question, I just think like parenting is hard, but co-parenting is even harder. And especially when you, just to kind of go back to the Safari situation, with a baby that young. Like, the mother's the one, for the most part, that gave birth to the child.
Right.
So she still has that connection. It's a different connection because they came out of, literally came out of the woman.
Right.
My train of thought. But there's certain schedules that the woman plays, like, the baby's going to eat at this time. The baby's going to sleep at this time.
Right.
Certain schedules that a man may not always, be hip to at first early on.
Okay,
so
that's fair.
I think part of it is like a man, and there are some deadbeat fathers out there.
Yeah,
but I think a man trying to do his part and not necessarily on the same page as like, all right, the mother can be like, over the top, like, all right, the baby has to eat this many ounces of formula.
Right.
They have to be asleep by this time. And once you're not doing that, it's kind of.
See, what you're saying makes sense, and I get that. But I am referring to the fact that the woman or the man, because I just don't want to make this like only women do this, because men, if they probably could, if they would, whatever. But they don't even allow the parent to even attempt to try these routines that you're referring to and alluding to.
And I get that. And I think whoever the dominant parent is, of whoever, when I say dominant, I mean whoever the kid's staying with, or the baby, the infant, whatever, staying with mainly, they're seeing everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you putting them to bed majority of the time. You're waking them up, feeding them, getting them ready. And then you want to get 2 days a week to do it, and you're already bitter, like, this is not working out. I have to do this for 4 days out of the week, and you only have to do it for 2.
Right.
And it's just like that causes sometimes
some resentment as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's tough because I always think about it from the children perspective and what they're missing out. You know what I mean? And I know in my personal life, different situations with friends of myself who are upset because I only get to see my kid twice every 2 weeks on a weekend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like you said, I grew up, like, before my mother passed away, I grew up in a single family household. Like, a single mom, me and my sister, we lived in an apartment together. And I didn't see my dad much. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't that he was a bad father. My dad just wasn't from this country. Right. So living in New York, he had to do certain things to, like, make a living. And that was working 2 to 3 jobs. Yeah. So maybe I got to see him, like, once a week or once every 2 weeks. It wasn't because he didn't want to be there. It's because he was at work. And then when I eventually, later on in my life, got to live with my father, like, I lived with him. But for the most part, he wasn't there with me every day because he'd go to work 7 to 3, then he'd go to work 3 to 11. You know what I'm saying? By the time he comes home, I'm asleep. You know what I'm saying? Get ready for school in the morning. So it's just tough. It's really circumstantial, I think.
And then I think one thing that irks my soul, and I just wish men and females would just stop, is going to social media and bashing the partner. Like, I like somebody would have to tell me what they feel they're gonna benefit by downgrading the person that you decided to make a child with and bash their credibility, their finances, their competency.
Doc brought that up during the social media thing. He said that, like, sometimes people don't feel like there's a support system or anyone to talk to. Right. So they'll go to social media because I think what they call might be dopamine. So you post something and people are like, oh my God, girl. My God, dude. That's so crazy, and you feel better about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably a lot of it.
Yeah,
and
that's a great point.
If you feel like, you guys tell me how stressful having a kid is. I don't have one. Like, imagine you have 1 or 2 small children. Right. You're stressed out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You might feel like you don't have the help that you thought you were gonna have when you made that decision. These children. Yep. So now, like, the first thing you're gonna do, you're already in a bad mood.
Yeah.
You're already angry, upset. How can I hurt this person the most?
And that's
I'm
publicly.
gonna let everyone know.
Right.
I feel, from my perspective, you're shirking your responsibilities as a parent.
And that's facts. And not to make it a man versus a woman does
Right,
whatever.
right.
But speaking of personal experience,
Yep.
I've like heard circumstances of like, you know, where like I've known certain women that go to social media with the mindset of like, yo, he just wants this image that he has so much money and like
Right.
he's his best dad, and I'm gonna go tell everybody now that he can't afford to do this, and this,
Right.
and he doesn't even take the dude or
Right,
his
right,
son
right,
or his
right.
daughter.
Yep.
So like, it's just
You
like,
could buy all this Louis Vuitton this, Louis Vuitton
so
that,
just
but you
to
can't
spite,
buy
it's just to
diapers.
spite. Or
And
you
then-
want the reaction, like, you know,
Right.
you getting blocked by your significant other. Like, let me go to social media. That'll make you respond to me now. You know what I'm saying? So,
But
Okay.
and thing is,
Yep.
like, we don't actually know. Like, that's a reality TV show. It could be scripted.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
these
yeah.
things.
No, but this happens.
No, but like, so let's
Personal
use,
circumstances,
but I'm
I
saying,
know.
So let's just take from what we've seen of the Erica Mena and Safari situation. The basis of them breaking up or having issues is she feels that he lives there and doesn't support the kid. It's not a sense of
right.
like, oh, we broke up. He's not coming to help or coming to see the kid or coming to take
Or
the
they're
kid.
broken up now, but you're
Yeah.
right. The origin of what the issue
it-
was, yeah.
And like part of it too, man, is like Safari. All we heard was how Nikki mentally and physically abused him in their relationship.
That's so
and
funny
you,
to me.
and
It's
you,
not funny,
And you
but
marry
it's
no, but hold on, listen, right? And you marry a woman that has those same traits. When Doc talks about just a dominant personality,
Yeah, yeah,
and
absolutely.
then like, I mean, you love who you love, but Erica Mena, like, you know, the dude is like a big kid. So you know that he lacks certain areas. So you already know, like, I mean, you can still be frustrated by him not doing what you want him to do, what you think he should be doing, but you also know who your partner is.
Right.
Like, you know Courtney's strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
You know Steph's strengths and weaknesses. I know my girl Sin's strengths and weaknesses. Like, and then if you've been in a relationship long enough, you know the person you're having a kid with.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
and that's true too. And it also, I feel like everything changes when you got a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, for instance, like early on, some of me and Steph's arguments.
Yep.
Well, when Luna was first born,
Yep.
like, and it wasn't me being malicious. It's just I didn't know.
Right,
And she
right,
brings
right,
up
right.
this story all the time. So like, Luna was an infant, probably like 3 months at the time.
Yeah.
And like, I'm 25 at the time. I don't know about no baby.
Yeah.
So Steph makes dinner. We're eating. I'm chowing down. Then I go chow down, put my plate down. Then I go back on my phone, watch the TV. And I'm physically with Steph and the baby.
Yeah.
But I never checked to. So Steph she sits there, and then 10 minutes later, she's like, "Can you hold her so I can eat?" And I'm like, "All right." So I hold the baby, and then Steph eats, but she has the biggest attitude. I'm
Right.
like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Come to find out, it's like, Sean, I think you're selfish. I think you're inconsiderate. Like, you ate, you were good.
Yeah.
The first thing you did was go pick up your phone. You didn't say, Sean, Steph, take the baby so I can eat. And
Right.
I didn't. And I
Yeah,
had to
not-
realize, like,
yeah,
yo,
yeah.
it wasn't because I malicious and don't care.
right,
I just didn't think and I didn't know.
Right.
Like, damn, I got another life now. I got to do certain stuff like this. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's a great fact, and like I said, it just dawned on me because, you know, obviously I know situations, I follow situations, and I'm just like, when a man or female does that social media bashing, as the other person, as the other parent, even if I'm wrong in my situations or my actions, then I become resentful, like, then F you then. And then I end up taking it out on the kids. And then it sucks. And like, you're not taking it out on the kids like you're bad mouthing the kid, but more of just like, well, then F you then. If you think you don't need me and you could do better, whatever, then I'm really not going to be there. And then it actually becomes a lingering factor.
Reality, yep.
And I think what happens is, you bring up a great point. They're waiting for that reaction. So these girls or males, like I said, I just want to make sure.
We had, like, just to be fair, we have seen a lot of dudes go on social media and trash their baby mom.
Right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. It has both. It goes
Drop
both
a
ways.
nude or you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, exactly. That's why
She's
I want
a
to make
bum,
sure.
won't let me see my kid.
Yeah,
you
it goes
know.
both ways.
Yep.
And then that resentment just builds and builds and builds. And then next thing you know it, you got a mother or father with the kids who is just painting this terrible picture to the kids. Yeah. You have one that's not in the household that unfortunately just accepting what is being said by him, but so angry that they can't even be in the presence of the female or the male, and it's just a snowball. So I just want, if you're out there, listen, co-parenting takes a lot of maturity, right? And it takes a lot of unselfishness and understanding that these kids need both parents regardless. Mm-hmm. And then I respect all the blended families I see out there, because I heard that's one of the hardest things to do. You know what I mean? Like I said, I know we make jokes, but it's crazy to see Alex Rodriguez and
with J-Lo's kids.
J-Lo's kids. No, but who's her husband that they took a picture?
Anthony.
Mark Anthony. They're taking pictures together, and then you see how it was tough for
but
Matt Barnes and thing. Yeah. It's
to be
difficult.
honest though, bro, like it all depends. Like J-Lo had been broken up with dude for so long. Right. He's moved on. She's moved on. And so like I'll give you a perfect example, right? So there was a kid that I coached in AAU when I first started doing it, and his mom and dad weren't together. They both had their own separate relationships. Yep. Mom sitting there with her new husband, dad sitting there with his new wife. Yep. They were hanging out, going out to eat, right? Like spending time. Everyone's laughing, joking.
And that's maturity.
Because so much time had gone by. It's it's tough. Like if I were to have a kid and then me and the girl break up and then 4 months later I'm with this new woman, right. She's not gonna be like, oh yeah, it's all good. She's gonna be mad.
Yeah, like, still have that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. And at the end of the day, like, because I even still see people have separate birthday parties. Like, I know for the kid, they're lit. They're like, hey, I get 2 birthday parties. Or Christmas, I get more presents or whatever the case may be. But I just feel like, listen, at the end of the day, and like I said, I am going because I've been on this new conscious discipline and all this stuff. I just been on this wave of just trying to spit positivity, whatever. But I don't know. I just had to bring that up in the sense of some of those memes be funny though. Like when the girls be trying to shit on the.
Oh, they try to go. The craziest thing had me rolling. And I hope it's not true. When she tried to say Future texted his kid,
your
and
mom
he said, he don't even say nothing. He say, pray for her.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that depiction of they can't get along. And like I said, the kid just suffers. Yeah, he probably got the monetary. Like for example, the Future. Like he's set for life. Whatever the case may be. But I see on social media, it allows people to do the most even more.
But, all right, so you got kind of talked about how you grew up. So I grew up in a 2-family home my whole life. I haven't seen anything else as far as how I was raised. Right. And my parents were together for 7 years before they even had me.
Right.
So it's it's all situational.
To that too.
It's all situational. Yeah. So whereas Dot had Lulu Young, he had you know what I'm saying? It's a different. Like my dad was 37 when he had me. He was an OG. So, and I mean, it's the Future situation. I mean, he's probably thinking the woman is texting him from the kid's phone.
But he's saying that
your mom's
the girl. No, but did you see the text message?
Yeah.
So in one text, it
says
Dad
clothes or something.
It says the name, and in another text, it says a number. Yeah. So I think she made it up.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to do.
Crazy I'm telling you,
because he has a bad but they can do that and get away with it because he has a bad reputation.
Exactly.
He don't care, man. Codeine crazy,
before
man.
We get
Come
out,
on.
I gotta ask my guys. You guys are stupid. Before we get out of here, I gotta ask my guys. This upcoming school year, real quick, mask on, mask off.
If it's gonna.
Sorry, we're talking about a school setting as well. I apologize.
A K through 12.
Yeah,
K through 12.
I mean, if whatever they feel whatever puts people at best place to be safe. If that's a mask, it sucks. But do you want to go back to remote learning? Do you want to be with your friends? So you gotta think about that.
Right.
I think that the mask mandates are pretty much a no-brainer as far as keeping people safe. Yeah. We're looking at the school numbers from some of these states already back in school. 8,000 kids in quarantine, 9,000 kids in quarantine, 4,000 kids in quarantine. So it's what's the alternative? Although I did read something that said that special needs children have trouble because the way that they learn a lot of times is like reading people's lips.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's hard for
That
them
makes
to
sense,
read, so they can't read the teachers and their classmates' lips.
Right.
But that's the only negative thing I really seen. But we've been seeing some crazy people going like to the school board meetings, going ham.
Right.
And I seen something the other day, like, you know, and I'm pretty, like, you know, firm. If you want the vaccine, get it. If you don't get it. But like, I had a conversation with my boy the other day, and it's like he sent me something that like a nurse said, like, you know, and I respect all nurses, but the nurse don't know more than the doctor.
Right.
So like, and the thing that kills me is, like, you know, people will say, two things kill me. People will say, this is fake, it's a setup,
right.
but you're gonna believe somebody that you don't know that made a video and posted it on social media and did not see a truth.
Right.
Another thing that I've been seeing lately that kind of kills me, and like, I don't care who you, I don't even consider myself, like, you know, Democrat or Republican. I vote for whoever I think is gonna do the best job and to put us in the best position.
Right.
You should have voted for Trump. And I'm like, I should have voted for Trump. And I'm looking at these people like, yo, if I asked you right now, what did Trump even want versus what Biden want, you wouldn't be able to tell me. But you know, it's just that's the thing that hurts about social media.
The only thing that irks me is people who are like, I'm not getting a vaccine, they get sick. They run to the hospital. The hospital is telling you to get the vaccine, but you don't because you're so. But then why you run into the hospital where they're like it doesn't make sense.
It's a situation now where like people like dug in,
you
know, I think that if once the FDA does approve it, there will be a certain amount of people who do go and get the vaccine.
Right.
But like looking at some of these other states and looking at like Alabama don't have an ICU bed in the state. Right. And they have the lowest vaccine rate in the country. People don't want to wear masks. It's like you have to give up something.
Right.
Like, yo, either you got to stay inside because you don't want to catch the virus, or you have to do the things that allow you to be out.
Yeah.
At least wear a mask.
Or if you gun-ho about, like, you know, not wearing a mask and not getting vaccinated, then you got to live with what comes with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Dot's favorite line, those that do not listen.
Those that don't hear shall feel. Good Jamaican proverb.
Hey, yo, man, shout out. If I was you, I would listen. Shout out The Plug. Shout out Go DJ. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe on YouTube now. Always remember, man, love is free and it's free to love, man. We out, man. Peace, man.